I have moved all of the logs from a few videos ago when I was pulling them down that hill back there with the tractor. I bucked them up into length and I moved them over here to the Japa 365. And what I'm going to do today, well, what we're going to do, yes indeed, we got a little bonus today. We've got the missus coming out. The queen of the Japa returns. But anyway, one of the things I always, it's not really a challenge, but what I run into is I split firewood for both myself, for my own personal burning use, and to sell to a few customers. In this oak right here, I do have some customers who come and drop their trailer off in the fall and load up with oak. So one of the things that I could do is I could like set aside, I could take the logs and I could like split them in half and put half the pile over here and run those with a little bigger splits. And then the other pile I could run with smaller splits because that's what my customers prefer. Or what I'm going to be doing today, or what we're going to be doing today, is we are going to set the 4-way wedge in the Japa at a height to where the bottom splits are smaller, and then anything that's larger will split and go over the top of the wedge, or the middle of the wedge, I guess, and then those bigger pieces will be for our personal burning use. So for instance, on this log, if I set the 4-way to where it's like splitting across kind of lower, like the bottom third, and then you'll end up with 2 smaller pieces on the bottom and then 2 larger pieces on the top. So 2 for me and 2 for you. Well, you probably won't be buying this wood, so it's not really 2 for you, but that is kind of my thought process, is when I'm splitting for myself and for my customer. In this situation, it's going to be the top 2 for me and the bottom 2 for you, the customer. And there is the finished pile of splits. Smaller splits that are perfect for my customers and bigger splits that are perfect for me. And it is a nice little mix. So like here's a nice smaller split. Here's a nice smaller split. And then here's a nice big split. And here's a nice big split. Same for this right here. Boiler wood, bundle wood. There goes boss man. So it just works out good for me anyway to do things like this. I know that people are going to be saying, well, now you got to pick all this wood up and separate it out, but I would have to do the same thing. And if I were to set the four-way to like evenly split those bigger pieces, then I would end up with still having to probably resplit some of the bigger pieces that come off because they'd be a little too small for boiler wood, but a little too big for bundle wood. So this way I can just separate out the pieces, take the bundle wood over to the pile and take the bundle wood over to the stack and the boiler wood over to the pile. So for the bigger logs, I probably could have used the 6-way if I wanted to just do all bundle wood. But then I would have to switch wedges for the smaller logs that would be too small for the 6-way. And so, like I said, it's at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter one way or the other. 6 one way, half a dozen another. Just this is how it works out good for me, because I do have to split the resources up between myself for my personal burning and the customer for selling. And this just happens to be one way that I like to divide things up. Like I mentioned earlier, 2 for me and 2 for you.